I have no idea what that means.
I suggested
it was a great idea, but we weren't ready.
Do it.
I suggested during the title sequence that we should do an action opening, and nobody knew what that meant.
You suggested it in the last 2 seconds. Let's do an action opening. Everyone was, Ryan and I were like, what are you talking about?
What does that even mean?
I left my kung fu pajamas in my other pants. Sorry.
I just want to point out that one of our sponsors has new packaging, and I'm going to be showing off that packaging constantly during the show. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm just eating this entire bag of snacks.
Be careful. I'm glad you're almost done with that because that's a really crunchy snack. So
Okay.
keep that away from the mic. So yeah, welcome to the patch this week, featuring Gus, Burnie,
Hello.
Ryan.
and Gus.
But we're at that right now, I think, in that weird kind of transition period with voice recognition technology where people just around you don't understand it. Like, I'll hit Siri and I'll say, like, send a message to Gus. And it goes, dink, what would you like to say to Gus Sorolla? And I say, and someone next to me goes, ask him if he's going to the movie. It's like, come on. I'm like, literally, it's like, they don't understand that they're interrupting a conversation between you and another thing yet. It's like, there's not enough use of it by everybody at that level to where the etiquette hasn't like baked in yet. And I find that interesting because I get interrupted talking to Siri almost every other time I use Siri, somebody interrupts me from talking to me. And my kids do it a lot too. It's like whenever I'm talking to the Xbox, I say, Xbox, sign is, and they go, Xbox. It's like, all right, let's try this again. Yeah.
The thing I've encountered is, like now you can use voice commands for like pause and like resume playback and stuff. Sometimes I'll be watching a movie with my wife and she'll need to get up to get something to drink. Or she's like, can you pause the movie for me? And I say like, Xbox pause. And she's like, oh yeah, I forget. Like she forgets. And like, that's now a valid way to interact with your entertainment centers. Like you just tell it what you want it to do. And
the funny thing is we're having this conversation. I'm having this conversation about the etiquette we haven't learned yet. And I'm sure there's people at home right now whose Xboxes are going crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say the key words.
Magic words.
Yeah. Titanfall, Xbox 360, delayed again.
Yep.
They were supposed to launch next week, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think the 25th was their original launch date.
Well, the mystifying thing to me about this is their quote, and I don't have it in front of me, but it was something to the effect of, we just want to give them some more time to really kind of improve the game, really lock it down. Really? At this close to launch, you're still pegging things down?
Sure, they can try to make stuff better, make the graphics better.
Another day one patch?
Yeah, here's the quote. The quote is, we see a few things that can be made even better, so we're giving Bluepoint a little more time to do just that and deliver an epic Titanfall experience for Xbox 360 players.
Isn't that the same thing, but basically they said when they bumped it the first time?
Yes.
Yeah. Here's what happened between then and now. Titanfall released, and Xbox One sales jumped 96%. They went up almost doubled
in the UK
in the week that Titanfall came out. Yeah,
I think that number was for the UK. But yeah,
yeah.
You think that they're just holding on to it, try to sell a few more units?
No, I think they're absolutely right. They're trying to increase the graphics quality of Titanfall. You know what the best way to increase the graphics quality of Titanfall is? Buy it on the Xbox One. Exactly. I would honestly, if I was there, I would be trying to figure out a way to mothball the 360 release. And look, I love the 360, I do. But I mean, it's the Xbox One needs a title that sells units. And they've got it. I mean, it's like, and then they got this release date for the 360 coming. I would just be like, I mean, you would have to be tempted.
So apparently, Simcity finally launched their offline mode. I saw probably the best comment about that was, I forget who it was. Someone made a joke about it. I don't know if it was on Twitter or on TV or what. Someone joked that Simcity finally launched its offline mode only a year after all the users discovered the uninstall mode.
Fucking right.
You called it?
M. Bison, known as in Japan as Vega.
Oh,
Boom! Yeah, they swapped a bunch of the bosses' names up.
Okay.
Because M. Bison is obviously Mike Tyson.
No, totally different. Totally different.
They didn't want to get sued.
Their boxer is totally different than the real boxer.
I like they kept the name though. Why not just rename that guy Slugger? It doesn't even make sense. Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. I'm sorry, I missed your point. What were you saying?
I was saying that SimCity Offline is finally available. You can finally play the most recent SimCity game without having to be connected online.
Yeah, never bothered me, but I'm happy that people got what they wanted.
Well shy of anyone caring.
Yeah, I started playing well after their launch, and so I never had connectivity issues.
Which, it's funny though. So that's an example of EA in the height of its evil. And then you look at Plants vs. Zombies, which has been so shockingly non-evil that I'm kind of worried that they're not somehow poisoning my soul in the background.
Garden Warfare is so good.
It's a really good game, and they've released...
That was literally the most cynical review of a game I've ever heard in my life.
Well, they've just released...
It's great, but it's probably not.
It's just, they must be killing us in secret somehow. They've released a free DLC that has a new game mode, new map, and a bunch of different powers unlocked. They've got a very obvious place to insert microtransactions, and they haven't. The treatment of that game has been amazing.
Do you think it's since they launched so close to Titanfall, they're trying to do all of this that they can to keep attention into Garden Warfare? But I guess Titanfall is also published by EA.
Yeah. Well, what isn't these days, to be honest? I mean,
Call of Duty.
there's so many different branches of EA at this point that it's almost like arguing, against a giant thing that doesn't even know what the left hand is doing when the right hand's doing it.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.